Hey, it's me, your good buddy Matt D, greeting you once again in the old game garage. Hope y'all doing well. Last week we talked about America's Next Top Model. Trust me, it's all raised and bumpy. It feels really nice. A game that's probably not great, but I love it. See last episode? Okay, real quick. Speaking of fashion, okay. So I would like to mix up what I'm wearing because otherwise I'm just gonna be wearing the same hoodie or the same orange sweatshirt because now it's hunting season. So I tried to put on different stuff. I threw on this. And by the way, this all relates to Next Top Model because this seriously, a top model would never be, or maybe this is in fashion now, but I don't know if this. I pulled this out of the closet. I haven't worn it in years. I don't know if. I think it originally had form. I assume when I bought it in the 90s at the Gap. I used to work at the Gap. This is all going off the rails a little bit, but look at what is going on with this. I mean, it's just a lot. It is a lot of. It's a lot of turtleneck. I mean, way too much turtleneck. I mean, billow. I mean, now I feel like I'm some sort of turtleneck guru. Anyway, I'm not a turtleneck guru, and I'm not a fashion guru. Obviously, I'm not an Next Top Model. Though, if I gave it a couple more hours, I could have been. Now this week, I'm a foodie. I'm a foodie who loves to cook. Loves to cook delicious fries, oven fries. Actually, I did just make oven fries, and they're delicious. Again, using a recipe from this week's America's Test Kitchen. Well, I probably shouldn't be eating while doing this. America's Test Kitchen. Let's get cooking. 300 top recipes. Yeah, white on yellow, hard to read. 300 recipes from America's trusted experts! Exclamation point. Trusted experts. Let's read the back of the box, as we do. Cook together! Exclamation point. Assign all the cooks in your kitchen tasks based on their skill levels. Then cook together as the experts walk you through each step. Whether you're planning a family dinner or a special event, get tried and true recipe recommendations. I swear I can read and talk. From the popular cooking show, America's Test Kitchen. It's a licensed game! No! Pow! You gotcha! Seriously, I've only read this first part. I never read the second part. I never got to the point where this was from a TV show. You gotcha, DS! You gotcha! Sorry, I'm particularly delighted by that. I did not see that one coming. I know, I hear you, Seven. I hear you. Hold on, everybody. There you go. Yeah, I didn't realize this was from a TV show. I can't believe this is a licensed property. That is amazing. I love this. I now love this game just a little bit more. And a little bit less, I'll be honest. You can even... Americans... From the popular cooking show America's Test Kitchen. Sorry, so distracted. You can even send recipes to other DS systems as you cook side by side. Basic reading ability is needed to fully enjoy this game. Nintendo DS sold separately. Yeah, so apparently you can link cable this up. Okay, so I think I've mentioned this. The fact that these are two different TV shows. This being a game, and this falls into the other category of DS madness, where this is really just an app, right? Like this, basically taking I know this as a bachelor. As a bachelor, you get a lot of cookbooks, a lot of basic ass cookbooks, like how to be a bachelor, or the mafia's coming over. What are you cooking for dinner? Is literally one of them. It's all pasta stuff. But there's a lot of it's all super, super, super basic. And that's kind of like what this is just a basic cooking app. Now we would, again, not before cell phone, there was an era before smartphones, and you just couldn't look this up. You needed a book. And so I know, okay, and I know you're thinking, is this easier to use than a book? No, it is not. It is. I probably got stuff over here. It is not easier than a book. Now let's look at the back. Look at some of these beautiful graphics going on here. It's not easier than a book because you've got to see books. See, what's really genius, and you don't realize this at first, is when you get single people books are usually just books and they suck and it's terrible to cook with. Actual cook people books open up all the way and can like go like this because they're designed so you can have them open and read as you cook. If you've ever tried to like make something off your like phone, like I'm gonna follow this recipe off my phone, and you're constantly washing your hands and then drying them so you can like get to the next recipe, but your phone's falling asleep. So you got to push buttons and scroll up and down and zoom in, and as you're trying to cook, and you're like, oh man, how inefficient this is. If only this was all in one big laptop or piece of paper, if it was in a book, basically. And that has this problem. They really try their best to kind of alleviate that by like having like set up stuff beforehand and like the steps, and it's easy to go back and forth. But also, let's face it, the Nintendo DS has a tiny little screen. And sometimes you're like doing them off these tiny little screens and it's just hard to see. But, I'm not gonna lie. Hey, it's me, Matt D. I hate that I'm doing this, but my favorite thing about this whole game is the cover. And because for the longest time, I just thought the cover, it's going to be glary as fuck. For the longest time, I thought the cover was just this, like, oh, look, it's adorable mom and her daughter, and they're just kind of cutting vegetables together. But then I realized, I was like, oh, they are actually playing the game. They are totally cooking from the DS. And I just love the fact that there's this little tiny DS there. And actually, I mean, if you look, everything is slowly, subtly, in a design sense, everything is kind of actually pointed to the DS. It just is so tiny. It's so small. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Look at me, I'm a little Nintendo DS. But I love it. Anyway, peace, yeah. But that's it. It's actually like a pretty helpful little cookbook. I found, and at first, as I mentioned, it's kind of simple, like for bachelors. The more I kind of looked into it, and the more I kind of monkeyed with it, the more I saw, like I made it like 5 dishes. The more I was like, oh, a lot of these dishes teach you other ways to cook, right? So I just made these like home fries just to do it right. So they don't tell you how to cut them. So you can cut them fat like a fry, right? Just like a steak fry. But some of them I end up cutting really thin. And then as I made them, I was like, oh, wait a second. I bet I could make chips. And I just have to cut them thinner. Oh man, hold on a second. Cut nothing. But I all of a sudden realized, oh hey, I can make chips. I just have to cut them smaller, and I know that seems like dumb, and like cooks out there are like, no shit, Sherlock. But like, if you're learning, this is how you learn. You kind of do it, and then as you see it, you kind of see the effects of how it goes. And a lot of their recipes kind of have that. That nature, and a lot of their things they've chose, I was like, oh, if you do this, you kind of learn how to do that, and that will help. It's sort of like a game. It really sort of gamifies cooking if you approach it like, oh, I want to learn these things. You can, again, though, also very much like an early app, you can write yourself notes about the different things. Like I will write, oh, as if you write it thin, these can become chips, and other things. Yeah, I mean, but as a cookbook, it's like, again, like an early cookbook where it is a little insane, the wide variety of the selections. You know, like a lot of salad. And what I should say is, like, for Midwesterners, again, I'm in Michigan, in the Midwest, not enough beef is all I'll say. Not enough beef dishes. It's fine for me, but too many salads and way too many chicken. Lamb? No one out here eats lamb. They don't even know what a lamb is. They've never even seen a lamb. Like, maybe they think lambda, 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 or whatever. They're thinking Revenge of the Nerds, which did not age well. Anyway, that's it. Next week, more games in an alphabetical order. I really enjoyed playing this because I got to make a lot of fun things that actually are super delicious. And you just go off the menu. Like, they just tell you to put salt and pepper, but, like, you can obviously put, like, chili powder and garlic powder and, like, Cajun sauce and all that kind of stuff. I know I shouldn't give you that, but I just did. Yeah, anyway, ciao. Oh, like, subscribe, square, all that stuff totally helps out. Please, the channel, numbers, etc. We can all do the wave and be happy that this video is now over. Yeah. Look, look, they're delicious. And a little cold, because it's cold out here in the garage, which I didn't think about in the summer, but it's gonna be a problem now that it's winter. Yeah.